hostile remains at large.
What is up everyone, Nayflar here and welcome back to my top 5 mods of the month series. In this video we will be looking at the 5 best mods that were created for Fallout 4 on PS4 in June 2018. Let's get started with number 5. Our first mod is Candy Eye, Vintage Weather and Environment Lighting Overhaul by Mr. Maboose 1981. This is a vintage style weather and visual overhaul mod for the PS4. It overhauls the weathers and changes the God Ray, HDR and saturation settings, giving the game a fresh new look. This mod is heavily inspired by the vivid weathers and surreal lighting mods from Skyrim. Just be careful that you don't have any other weather mods installed because this mod won't be compatible with them. The main things I noticed about this mod whilst testing it is that it makes the sky look very orange even during midday. It's generally darker than vanilla Fallout and radiation storms are much less intense. Although I think the best way to show off this mod is for me to shut up and let you look at some comparison shots of Fallout with Candy Eye and without it. So here you go. Next up at number 4 is Prime Location by Forge. Prime Location is an exploration based mod which adds several new locations to the Commonwealth. In this mod you will go on a journey starting from a wrecked vertibird outside Vault 111 through various locations around the Commonwealth, and ultimately you will end up visiting the military facility where Liberty Prime was developed and tested. I wholeheartedly recommend reading all of the terminal entries you discover whilst playing through this mod, as Forge has done a fantastic job of adding lore-friendly stories about how the war started, where nukes were launched, and most importantly, how and why Liberty Prime was designed and developed. All of the locations are unmarked because you can't add quest markers on PS4, therefore you will need to read the terminal entries to find directions to the next location. Locations include abandoned military checkpoints, research facilities, and even a nuclear submarine. At the end of the quest is a very decent unique weapon that is well worth completing the quest for. You will have to get past quite a tough boss though to get it, so be prepared and make sure you bring power armor. This is a fantastic quest/exploration mod that will add a couple of hours of great story content and exploration. If you're a fan of exploration and great story, download this mod and give it a try.
Broken.
At number 3 we have Kelloggs Cybernetic Implants, or KCI for short, by Losterot. Remember those cybernetic enhancements you loot from Kellogg after you get your sweet revenge on him?
In 100 years, when I finally die, I only hope I go to hell, so I can kill you all over again, you piece of shit.
Bethesda did actually plan for you to be able to use Kellogg Cybernetics enhancements, but it got cut from development for unknown reasons. This mod changes that by making them equipable, giving you some very useful advantages. The Cybernetic Brain Augmenter adds the targeting HUD effect that you get with power armor, which adds a red highlight to living targets, making them stand out, which is a very useful ability, especially in dark areas. The Cybernetic Pain Inhibitor gives you the same ability as the Free Fall Legs. You now take no fall damage. And finally, the Cybernetic Limb Actuator gives you plus 20% damage. Now don't worry if the damage increase doesn't show straight away, you need to close your Pip-Boy and reopen it after equipping the actuator to see the effects. So how do you get these items? When you loot Kellogg's corpse you get 3 implants, but they're not ready for use yet. You have to power them up with fusion cores at a chemistry station and equip them. Each cybernetic item can only be crafted once, then the option will disappear. You might be thinking, but I gave the brain augmenter to Dr. Amari for the main story quest. Don't worry, because there's a special prototype brain augmenter that can be found in her lab, which you will need anyway, even if you haven't given the original brain augmenter to Dr. Amari yet. And the mod author has implemented a second set of crafting recipes, so you can get the other 2 items back if you need to. This is a fantastic lore-friendly mod that restores content that was originally planned for Fallout 4 that I think should never have been cut from the game. It's not overpowered and the perks make sense. The penultimate mod on this top 5 list is Mad Rock by Madrox. This mod adds a terrifying new settlement to Fallout 4 located next to Billy's fridge, although best practice is to fast travel to University Point and walk to allow everything to load properly. Make sure you head over to Mad Rock at night time for the best experience and go ahead and explore. There are keys dotted across the old haunted monastery which you will need to find and eventually make your way to the workbench to claim the monastery for your own and lift the haunted curse. Once you've lifted the curse, you can invite your settlers to live in the giant monastery and you can start redeveloping it into a nice comfy home, or you can keep the curse active and give your settlers a living hell. Up to you. Some of the jump scares in this mod genuinely scared the hell out of me. The monastery is incredibly well designed, the architecture is fantastic, I had a great time exploring, it was challenging but not impossible, and parts of it were actually quite scary, which I didn't think would be possible with the Fallout 4 engine, but somehow Madrox managed it. You need to try this mod. And finally, the best mod that released for Fallout 4 on PS4 in June is Ballistic Realism Overhaul 2, or Bro 2 for short, by the boss. Bro Year 2 brings you a completely revamped way to play Fallout 4. It was designed from the ground up to fully reimagine how the mod can be played. This time around, Bro brings you a strategic experience, leaving the player to make many choices that actually have an impact on how you play. Guns now do 200 to 1800 damage. This does not mean you will one-shot everything, it just means no more bullet sponges. Armor ratings have also been updated accordingly, making it incredibly important to have good armor. If you don't, you'll be in trouble. Clothing now spawns on a person dynamically, and all items are unleveled. At first the game may seem difficult, but once you start to upgrade your weapons and armor, you will be a force to be reckoned with. All human NPCs have been overhauled to die realistically with 1 to 2 shots, however this is without armor. Depending on the armor an NPC has will determine how much HP they have. If the NPC has full combat armor, expect a difficult fight, but if the NPC just has a shirt and jeans on, rest in peace. Creatures of the Commonwealth have special buffs to make for fun gameplay. Ghouls are now stupid and they now attack anything on sight, including themselves. Dynamic Loot Evolved, or DLE for short, brings you a new system to ensure maximum lootage. With DLE, when you open a box, every single item, over 1,000 items at a time, has a 50% chance to be in the box. However, only items that are associated to the correct category will appear to avoid getting completely random items. Other changes include adjustments to the perk system. The level requirements for most perks have been changed. For example, Rifleman now requires you to be level 10 before you can even get the first star. Ammo is much more scarce, vendors sell very little, and what they do sell is much more expensive than vanilla Fallout. However, vendors now have a lot of caps, making it easy to sell all the loot you find, and caps have been modified. You can now find much more of them on bodies and in registers. Most of the weight values for junk have been changed, so you can't haul around hordes of junk with you all the time, meaning you will need to make regular trips to your settlements, especially as your overall carry weight is also reduced. This mod will completely change your Fallout 4 experience, and if you're going to use it, I would definitely recommend starting a new game and only using this mod on that new save for the best experience. If you're tired of the same old Fallout 4, download this mod, pair it with survival difficulty, and you're in for a whole new challenging experience. That will take us to the end of the video. I do hope you enjoyed it or found it useful in some way. If you did, please leave a like and hit subscribe, and click the notifications bell button next to the subscribe button to be notified every time I upload a new video. I'm also giving away a copy of Fallout 76, so check the description of this video for a link to enter the giveaway for free. I'll see you in the next video. Good luck out there in the wasteland.
Alert. Hostile remains at large.